Hello, beautiful YouTube. Gina here, and I am an author of over 65 books. And today we're talking about chapter number 3 of my newest book slash workbook, How to Write a Book for Spiritual Beings. And we already went over chapters 1 and 2. And chapter 1 was on limiting beliefs, like how to get that confidence to actually sit down and start writing the book and stop procrastinating. And we went over a little exercise where we um, did affirmations in order to kind of debunk any limiting beliefs you may have of why you haven't gotten started. And chapter 2 was on choosing a topic, and we went over some ideas of how to do that and how to decide on a topic. And those two videos will be linked below. So if you want to go back and watch those first, or this one is about creating an outline, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So stay tuned. I'm going to actually give you a physical example. I was having a little bit of fun with this before I got on, and I'm going to give you a physical example and actually share my screen this time. So I will see you in a second. So I'm going to be using the example of candle making for beginners, and we're going to start with nonfiction, and then we'll get into my fiction one, which is a lot more fun. The the fiction one. So first, let's get started with the nonfiction. So making an outline, it all depends. You can just simply write the chapter names and go from there, or you can write the chapter names and then get in more detail of each thing that's going to be in that chapter. The more detailed, the easier it is for you to just flow and write without having to, continue to think of more things that you want in your book. And as you go along, you can also add things. So you want to think of your chapter names, and then you can add stuff under each name, or just go by how the process will go for you and lay out in your book. So it just depends how you want your book laid out, and just make sure it's in a way that people can easily understand and gets them from beginning to end of whatever they're trying to accomplish by reading the book. So for the introduction, I just put things like getting started, choosing a wig, choosing wax, how to create a candle, conclusion, and basically under getting started, the first thing you want to know is what you'll need. That's one of the main things, like candle containers, wax, and just try to list all the stuff and go from there. Choosing a wick, there's different types of wicks and how long will they burn. That's another one I could have added. Stuff like that. Wax, types of wax, what are the benefits of the different wax, which one will burn the longest, which one will give off the best scent. There's so many things you can just add into your outline. So that's pretty much your outline and the gist of it for nonfiction. And like I said, it's pretty simple, and it depends on how your mind works. I just put like little things that will remind me of, okay, what do I need to write next? What do I need to write next? And it's just simple and straightforward once you get started. And that's how I pretty much do all my books from here on out. But I've also had times where I just wrote like the book. Basically, I'll write the chapter, like I'll write chapter one, and then I'll just free flow and not really, outline it. But um, I feel like this is definitely more simple and to the point. So I recommend just doing it this way, and just writing, just thinking of things you can put into your chapters, and it just makes it so much simpler of what you can write. And now it doesn't look like you have a blank page and you got to get started, and it just it's less intimidating in my opinion. So that's it for nonfiction. Going to get into the fun one, which is nonfiction. And for this one, I named it, I just came up with this off the top of my head. In one of my previous videos, I was talking about how, people love the scandal. They love I've been watching a lot of shows and stuff, and I can see like the big topics and things like that. And this is nothing that's new, but it's what people do like to read about. Let's be honest. We have to think about what our readers want to read. And it's actually, I don't know, I think it's fun kind of writing this stuff. So I would put this under like a drama, romance type of thing. And It's called He Cheated, I Stayed. I can see this being a real book, so I actually had to look it up in Amazon store. And there is a book kind of similar to this. Yes, He Cheated, Yes, I Stayed. The Ultimate Guide for Strong Women Who Have Decided to Stay with a Partner Who Cheated. And that's more of a, I would say that's more of a relationship type of book. That's like kind of really nonfiction. They're actually giving you a guide. Now, this is just for pure entertainment. And what I do with fiction is I make sure to, well, I didn't highlight the chapters, but I just make sure to, this one I didn't write the chapters. I'm like, okay, the way your mind segments things, it just depends. So we have chapter one, we were meant to be. So they met at the cousin's party. I decided to name her Terry once I start writing this. I just did this within 2 seconds. It was so easy, it just came out. So chapter one, we were meant to be. So they met at her cousin's party. He approached her. So you have to kind of get an introduction of how you would, what is she going to look like, so you can kind of describe her and throw it in different scenes and stuff. So writing fiction is, it can be hard, but you just have to have an imagination, and it's all just fun because you're just making this up. But yes, and let's see, chapter two, fall in love, and then she doesn't believe, like she at first she doesn't believe the cousin, and then she found out, she gets receipts and she finds out, and she still didn't say nothing, and then she starts to go through the motions, and one day she finds out like she is really getting cheated on, and then she didn't care, she doesn't care towards the end, and then she just wants the lifestyle and she's not willing to give it up, and he's such a good man that well, in her opinion anyway, he's such a good man that it's worth staying with because she don't want to start all over and stuff. Maybe she'll be like middle aged or something, and she doesn't want to start over because it's the next man might do it, or it just depends on her reasons. But just make it dramatic, make it there gotta be twists and turns. My favorite part is coming up with the different chapter titles. It's just fun. I always love coming up with chapter titles, even book titles. I just love that. And yeah, I would definitely publish this one. Maybe one day I will under one of my pen names. But that's just an example of how you would write a fiction outline, and it's pretty straightforward after that. Once you give some, you can, you have the scene, the location, just come up with just random stuff, and you know have some conversation. You want to have some dialogue in there, and yeah, you have yourself some fiction books and you have fun with it. And it's funny that the people, the readers, will be literally acting like this character is true. Like the reviews I get on some of my romance books are hilarious. And then this is great for the free first in series, and then they'll get into it because some people, I will never read a book by this author again, and then others is like, I can't believe all this happened, this is crazy. Like some people are here for the drama and they're here for the tea, and I'm telling you that. And I just couldn't believe that this is really a book. This is crazy. So that is it for nonfiction. And let me know if you have any questions in the description below. I'll be linking the last two video lessons as well in the description. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.